Welcome to English Practice Stories.
Hello, my dear friends. How are you? Let me give you a little backstory. I have just waited a year to marry my boyfriend. It's been almost 3 months since we got married. During this year, me and my boyfriend have both been struggling as his parents did not allow us to have any sort of contact until marriage. It was a tough year. We'd try to have secret meetups, but would then be bombarded by his mom's and dad's nonstop messages and calls. They'd completely obsess over him being out at 10 p.m., yet before they were aware of our relationship, he was allowed to go on holidays for weeks. I had made the decision to accept leaving a big city with all my friends for a small little town in the middle of nowhere. I accepted living with his family just for him. Our problems during the 1-year wait began when me and him made the decision to move out. We had found a place to stay and were prepared to announce it to our families. When he had sat down with his parents, they told him that he shouldn't take my advice and should continue living with them and invest in properties. At the time, I completely disagreed with this. Interest is a thing that is absolutely not allowed in my religion, and I have always been against it. After many tears and discussions, his parents had won. They had convinced my fiancé at the time to stay with them. I had no choice but to oblige. Moving forward, I moved my things in and got married. Ever since then, I have despised every single day. Second day of the marriage, and he told me he regretted ever marrying me. We'd been arguing nonstop, and things had begun to turn physical. One day, I had had enough, and I decided to walk out. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to meet us again and hear more stories like this. I left for 6 hours, and to my shock, not even one person had messaged me. At midnight, his dad had given me a call, which I ignored, and then my husband had given me a call and was furious with me. He told me to hurry home, and I did. When I got home, I was being shouted at by his father. He told me he wanted to speak with me in the morning, so in the morning I left. I chucked the cheap ring. I begged my husband to buy me one and told him I didn't want it. I left for a few days and kept myself distracted while messaging my husband throughout the day and being completely ghosted. When I made the decision to come back, everything was different. My husband was pushing me away, no matter how many times I tried to show affection to him. He said he had never felt this happy in his life. He had finally felt free. He mentioned that he was himself again, happy, and enjoying his time with his family. His parents did most of the talking. They had said that I had been abusing him and that I had given him PTSD. My mother-in-law said she would allow him to talk freely about any of the abuse I have caused him, and he wouldn't need to stress about it anymore. She mentioned that now that I have left and he has seen how happy life was without me, I'd have to give my all, and he would give nothing in return. I would have to put in all the effort to make him not threaten me with divorce, which he kept repeating during the conversation we had, and I would have to start doing my duties as his wife, which means not even asking him to make me lunch once. I must now make him all his meals in the day and care for him, yet he doesn't play his role in the relationship. Bro doesn't even have a job. Fast forward to last week, and I noticed that my mother-in-law had started messaging him a lot more. She was reminding him for every single prayer, not a bad thing, but frustrating as it's my duty to remind him now and not his mother's. She'd send him good morning and good night messages and would just bombard his phone with random messages and Instagram reels. It's frustrating. This has been happening every single day. I feel sick when he even picks up his phone. I don't know if this is some sort of emotional attachment I have or if she's genuinely obsessed with him. I've even discussed this with him, but he says he has other relationships to maintain. Since day one, I have felt left out of this family. I'm writing this at 2 in the morning, and I have to be up for my driving test at 9. My husband's driving test is on Thursday, but a few hours ago, and I'm not sure if this was out of spite, his father messaged him to help him practice for his test after I had asked him to help pay for mine because my husband can't provide. My test is tomorrow, and I haven't driven in weeks because I can't afford lessons, whereas my husband has been driving for 2 hours every 2 days because his daddy is paying for them. When he got home from practicing a while ago, he had gone straight to my mother-in-law. He didn't even think about the fact that I had stayed up for 2 hours and waited for him. He seems absolutely exhausted of me. I've even been begging him to take us on a date, and he refuses. He says he can't be bothered, which I believe is because while I was gone, his mother had put it in his head that he didn't need me and would now need to recover by talking to her about all the abuse. Is this me going crazy, or are his parents the problem? Give me your honest thoughts. I am eager to hear your perspective and learn from your input. So please do write your thoughts in the comment section. I wish for happiness in your family. Thank you for listening to the story. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to meet us again and hear more stories like this.
If you like our story, subscribe English Practice Stories channel and click the bell icon.